All right, everybody, welcome back. Today I have something special for you. Today we are going to be reviewing an E36 M3 Evo2. Looks gorgeous. This one is completely stock, bar a few little mods, like a nice exhaust. And like a head unit, but outside of that, that's pretty much it. Love the interior of this thing. I really like the cabin of this car. It's a really nice place to be. I really like the armrest positioning as well, as you guys can see there. It's a bit interesting because you don't actually have, it's not an armrest with any depth behind it. It literally is just a, it's literally just an armrest. So you've got a little bit of space here, but not much. And then as you can see here, it has the badge certifying that it is an Evo2 instead of just a base E36, which is very, very nice. So with being the Evo2, we have the 6-speed box instead of the 5-speed box and some other goodies that we will get into a little bit later. See what they're worth. Let's go. First, let's get through the basics and the fundamentals. Fundamentals of this car. Rear-wheel drive, front engine, 6-speed manual, 3.2 litre straight 6. 1996. No traction control, no assists, no nothing. Yeah, weighs in at about 1,450 kilos, and this is the lighter version because it's the Evo2. So the base E36 M3 is just a 3 litre, but the Evo2 is a 3.2 litre. Now they stroked it out from 1995 onwards, and they went from a single Vanos to a dual Vanos. And they also made some suspension modifications as well to the Evo2 over the base model. They gave it aluminium doors as well. Went from a 5-speed gearbox to a 6-speed. Went from a 5-speed gearbox to a 6-speed to give you a little bit more gear ratio and just a nicer final drive. I'm finding it really difficult to heel toe in this thing because I just can't seem to get it to activate, I guess, where the throttle is and how much input you have to give to the throttle. It's quite heavy to get the throttle going. So you can get it to heel toe, you just really need to lean into the throttle hard with the side of your foot. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. It just requires a bit more commitment than cars that I've driven. Oh, and yeah. The steering feel is extremely dynamic when you know exactly what it's going to do, and there's not really that much body roll in it. It's quite stiff. That was another thing that I forgot to add. It doesn't really step out on you all that much. Like when you drive the newer BMWs, anything kind of from my experience, the M2, even the E92 M3. Now, yes, they are bigger motors, so they have more power, but so it's obviously more difficult to put it down. But even still, the way the chassis is set up, this thing just doesn't really rotate on you in the right way. Like obviously you want a bit of body rotation and a bit of rotation through the car so that you can set it up for the corner. It does that, but it's still stiff enough that the sidewall actually bites. But we've got shit tires on, so obviously however they designed the chassis of this car has been done well enough that it allows for a lot of mechanical grip through chassis setup, which makes for a very, very confidence-inspiring drive, but also really nice drive because there are some times where you don't want to be sideways and you just want to turn in and feed it throttle and it just stays in it. And it loves it, even when the roads are a little like wet and you got a bit of shitty tires on, like what I do now. I'm still finding a lot of grip through the side of the tire, which is awesome. So yeah, that's definitely a massive pro that I didn't feel when I was doing like the review just before. Like I felt it, but I didn't know exactly what it was. But after driving it a bit more, that is what it is. But yeah, awesome. Thank you. The more you push it, the more it feels like it wants to go and it wants to be pushed harder, and it's encouraging you because everything kind of comes together to improve the driving experience. It's also quite easy. You don't have to work that hard to drive it well, but to get it, dare I say, perfect with the heel toes, with braking late into the corner, you need to know what you're doing. And when you know what you're doing, it really rewards you for it, which I really like, because I like when a car leaves something in reserve that you have to work to get it out of the car. Because when you get everything easily, there's no surprises left to get. But this thing, yeah, it holds something back and it doesn't give it to you unless you get the heel toe right, get the rev range right, and nail your braking in this thing. They will sell. These cars are a driver's car, they're a collectible car, especially the Evo2. People want them and people will pay for them. And as a result, they range up to anywhere from, for a like relatively clean one, you'd probably be looking at about 50,000 to kind of 80,000 for anything that's kind of like running and driving, clean title, with about anywhere from kind of like 80,000 to 170,000 Ks on it. Anything sub kind of 70,000 Ks though, you're gonna start looking at more. There was one that I saw that moved for about 115 grand, which had 20,000 Ks on it, right? And then from there, you've got the base E36 M3, then you've got the Evo2, and then you've got the GT, the LTWs if you're in America, and the special editions that they made, which they did make quite a few different special editions of this car, which can fetch upwards of 200 grand. Reliability wise, you're gonna run into a couple of problems with them. The Vanos in these is definitely a point of issue and something that needs to be maintained, and if you're picking one up, if you can find one that's already had it done, that just saves you a world of pain. And again, being an older car, same as what I always say, bushings, oil leaks, it's gonna need more maintenance. It doesn't matter what type of older car it is, doesn't matter that it's a BMW, it's an older car, so it's gonna need more maintenance. But other than that, the Vanos is really kind of the big things with these cars. But if you get that right, they've been known to be really good and be quite nice. So I'd say reliability is pretty good with these, providing you do the maintenance stuff that it needs. My thoughts, steering input, really direct, feels really nice, and you know exactly what the car wants to do before it does it. So it inspires a lot of confidence, I find, through this car. The way it revs out, really long gear ratio, so you're not constantly finding second, third, fourth, you're not rowing through the gears as much, so you can kind of really focus on driving through with your foot, I guess, and your steering position, and really start to pick up some speed and lean into the car more and more, which has been a lot of fun actually. And really, really easy to shift, quite easy to daily drive. When you give it some, it really comes alive. Oh, 1 second. When you give it some as well, it then really starts to come alive. Big steering wheel though, you gotta add a lot of turning input to get it to turn. But overall, I would say this is an incredible car. This is an amazing car. And I understand why there is so much hype around this car now. And I'd say it lives up to it. I think I've been spoiled with driving this because I don't have a bad thing to say about this car. I love the styling. I love the placement of every single thing here. I adore this car. Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in to watch another review. And I hope you guys had half as much fun watching as I did making this. And enjoy your day. Thank you. Also, the fuel economy on this thing is fantastic. I drove like an hour and a half to get up into the hills, drove for like an hour, fanging it quite well and driving it hard, and now I'm driving back, and look at the fuel gauge. I'm at like barely through a quarter. This thing is fantastic. It's such a good daily.